Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the news postcard on TayNinhTV with some last events now private as well as nationwide. And now we come into details. Ladies and gentlemen, on the afternoon of April the 10th, the Vice Chairman Provincial People's Committee Yung Văn Thắng chaired a meeting between the Provincial People's Committee and VinFast Production and Trading Joint Stock Company on the proposal to accompany TayNinh province in converting to green transportation towards the sustainable development of green TayNinh. At the meeting, representatives of VinFast Production and Trading Joint Stock Company proposed to support TayNinh province in converting the province's public transport and official vehicles to electric vehicles with their special preferential policies according to VinFast support program for the local government's customers, expanding the network of smart charging stations at public parking lots, squares, parks, school, hospital, industrial parks, etc. And speaking at the meeting, Vice Chairman of Provincial People's Committee Yung Văn Thắng said that the goal of building the development strategy associated with the green transformation in line with the zero goals mentioned in TayNinh provincial planning for the period of 2021 to 2030, with a vision to 2050 is green TayNinh so that TayNinh becomes a place worth visiting and living. At the same time, the Vice Chairman of the Provincial People's Committee said that the province supports and will create favorable conditions, have support policies according to the provision of law to accompany the company in implementing the green transportation and growth in the province. Continuing to implement the plan to monitor the management of the condition of business lives in the fields of industry and trade, on the afternoon of April 10, the survey team of the Economic Budgets Committee of the Provincial People's Council had a working session with a number of enterprises in Hoa Thanh Town.
During the survey, the delegation worked directly with Vietnam Liquefied Petroleum Gas Company Limited, or VTGas TayNinh Ranch, and TayNinh Petroleum Joint Stock Company. Representatives of the enterprises reported on their operations and provided complete legal documents related to conditional business life such as business registration certificate, certificate of eligibility of fraud prevention and fighting, and human resource training documents. During the working session, Vietnam Liquefied Petroleum Gas Company Limited (VTGas) TayNinh Ranch raised a number of difficulties in the operation process. Notably, many grocery stores without license still sell gas, posing a potential risk of fire safety, or the situation of illegal appropriating gas cylinders for gas fueling is still happening. On the side of TayNinh Petroleum Joint Stock Company, it also recommended that relevant departments and branches promptly support the completion of procedures for transferring ownership of assets at gas station number 17, Tân Biên District. The recommendations and reflections have been recorded by the survey delegation. And ladies and gentlemen, to reviewing the arrangement, layout and handling of houses and land and projects, works and headquarters under construction or approved for investment policies that are affected by the arrangement and streamlining of the apparatus and administrative units. TayNinh has 2 projects to build provincial headquarters that must be temporarily suspended. Specifically, the project to build a new headquarters for the Religious Affairs Committee invested by the Provincial Construction Investment Project Management Board and the project for Foreign Affairs Services invested by the Provincial Board of Government have been assessed by the province as no longer in need of investment in the current period. And the Provincial People's Committee has adjusted and reduced capital for these 2 projects to supplement more urgent works in 2025. In addition, the management and handling of public assets after merger has encountered many difficulties due to the fluctuations in legal information, the changes in governing bodies, lack of uniformity in records, and the need to adjust land use planning. At the National Online Conference on implementing the conclusion of the Standing Committee of the Central Steering Committee on Preventing and Combating Corruption, Waste and Negativity organized by the Ministry of Finance on April 9th, the TayNinh Department of Finance proposed that the central government should issue specific instructions for localities to effectively and in accordance with the regulations. And the Party Executive Committee of TayNinh Province had just agreed on the policy of organizing visits and presenting the gifts to policy beneficiaries in the province on the occasion of the 50th anniversary of the liberation of the South and the national reunification associated with the 50th anniversary of the liberation of TayNinh, April 30th of 1975, April 30th of 2025. Accordingly, the province will organize gift giving to more than 40,100 policy beneficiaries who are enjoying referential treatment in districts, towns, and cities in the province. In addition, the province will also organize 18 delegations to visit and present gifts to 190 beneficiaries who are people with revolutionary contributions and relatives of outstanding martyrs who are receiving monthly referential allowance. The total budget for visiting and presenting gifts to policy beneficiaries on the occasion of a rotated is over 40 billion Vietnam dong, using the party budget reserved of the provincial party committee.
And ladies and gentlemen, the agricultural sector is diverse, rich in crops, and TayNinh is also blessed with a favorable climate. And there are the factors that favor conditions for TayNinh to fully develop the unique agricultural experience unique to the locality. Watching the sunset on the West Canal is a completely new tourism product that the TayNinh Provincial Tourism Association has just put into trial operation, aiming at the green tourism, green destination for TayNinh Province in the coming time. Participating in this parent tour are units doing tourism in the province, as well as individuals doing agricultural farming, food and accommodation services. The West Canal, one of the three main canals of the Dầu Tiếng Phước Hòa irrigation project, is the main highlight of the tour. Not only does it play an important role in providing water for industrial production, agriculture, and daily life for TayNinh City, Hoa Thanh Town, and Yu Minh Châu, Châu Thành, Tân Châu, Tân Biên districts, this place is also a wild, fresh natural picture, ideal for cycling around and watching the sunset. With a bicycle as a companion, visitors will begin a perfect journey of discovery, cycling on the winding road along the canal under brilliant sunset. Each turn of the bike takes visitors to the cool green gardens, where the farmers diligently cultivate organically, creating quality and safe agricultural products for the health. And visitors not only get to listen to the farming story from the garden owner, but also have the opportunity to harvest and enjoy the fresh fruits right in the garden, an experience that is both interesting and full of nature. The highlight of this journey is that the visitor can watch the sunset from the West Canal in the distance with the majestic Padang Mountain to see the wonderful and peaceful scenery of TayNinh. After a tiring week of working, I can spend the weekend experiencing the peaceful scenery of TayNinh. I want to spread the message to everyone to respond to green tourism so that everyone in the family can be closer and connect with each other more. And through this, I really hope to explore a green tourism route with the different to attract more and more visitors from far away to TayNinh for experimental tourism. In addition, visitors can also enjoy the program on changing traditional music, rustic cuisine with the rustic dishes such as bánh xèo, bánh khọt, real fish, wild vegetable, etc. Basically, the association is gradually forming a product board. This is one of the first times that we have launched a new program, how to make the people feel that when coming to TayNinh, it is a completely different types of tourism compared to the provinces and cities. And we see that after this program, people are very excited, very interested, and it is also the special thing about TayNinh tourism. Making about TayNinh tourism, I want to tell a different story, which is how to position TayNinh tourism with a difference of TayNinh. The journey to experience cycling towards the sunset along the canal, the West Canal, will soon be implemented, promising to bring visitors a green, relaxing trip with a typical ecological agriculture of TayNinh. And ladies and gentlemen, green tourism is the direction of TayNinh Province and tourism units in TayNinh Province also. This not only contributes to increasing the value of tourism products, but also contributes to protecting the environment as well as bringing the nature-loving tourists to TayNinh Province. And green tourism is gradually becoming the choice of many tourists when coming to our TayNinh. And on the occasion of the Vietnam Days for the People with Disabilities on April 18, on the morning of April 10, the TayNinh Association of Agent Orange Dioxin Victims organized a gift presentation to the Agent Orange victims in the province. This time, the association presented a total of 60 gifts. It's worth for 1 million Vietnam dong, and the gifts were given to Agent Orange victim children who have been cared for at the Tenant Center for Rehabilitation and care for Agent Orange dioxin victims in Bình Minh Commune today, as well as to victims living in Châu Thành District and Tenant Town, in which the Venerable Thích Nữ Diệu Nghĩa, a part of Ba Đen Tenant Pagoda system, donated for 30 million Vietnam dong. The remaining funds were drawn from the province Agent Orange Victim Support Fund. On this occasion, representatives of the Tenant Mountain Pagoda system and more benefactors also came to Tenant Provincial Rehabilitation Hospital to present nearly 80 gifts to disadvantaged patients being treated there. Escape reward for 500,000 Vietnam dong. And on the afternoon of April 9, Trang Bang Thao People's Committee organized a surprise commendation ceremony for collectives and individuals who had made achievements in mobilizing and handover ahead of the schedule for the construction of the Ho Chi Minh Road section Trương Thành Đức Hòa through Tây Ninh.
Attending the ceremony, there was Mr. Đoàn Minh Long, Secretary of the Trang Bang Thao Party Committee. At the conference, the Provincial People's Committee awarded certificates of merit to 3 collectives and 13 individuals. Trang Bang Thao People's Committee awarded certificates of merit to 9 individuals who had made outstanding achievements in mobilizing land handover ahead of schedule for the construction of the Ho Chi Minh Road section of Trương Thành Đức Hòa route Tây Ninh. And after nearly 1 year of piloting the project of sustainable development of 1 million hectares of high-quality, low-emission rice cultivation associated with the green growth in the Mekong Delta by 2030 in Kiên Giang province, it has been shown that this advanced production model is quite effective and is highly appreciated by experts and farmers. However, this also shows the limitations and problems that need to be addressed in order to implement the project more effectively in the coming time. Phu Hoa Youth Agricultural Service Cooperative in Tân Hiệp District is the first unit in Kiên Giang to be selected to launch the project with an area of 50 hectares and 25 households participating from the summer-autumn-winter of 2024 and winter-spring of 2024 and 2025 rice crops. In addition to effectiveness, the pilot model shows limitations and problems such as the connection between enterprises, cooperatives, and farmers in providing machinery for land improvement, sowing, spraying, fertilizing, and signing contracts for the rice purchase is still loose and delayed, and there are even traders who do not come to buy rice from the farmers when the rice prices drop sharply or at the peak harvest time. How can the cooperative link with reputable, quality, and low-cost enterprises to serve the farmers effectively, such as rice seeds, fertilizers, and pesticides? Implementing the projects of 1 million hectares of high-quality, low-emission rice associated with a green growth in the Mekong Delta, Kiên Giang has so far deployed pilot model with 12 over 12 districts in the 2024-2025 winter-spring crop alone. 9 models were deployed with an area of 440 hectares, with an average profit of more than 35 million Vietnam dong per hectare and 5 million Vietnam dong per hectare higher than outside. In the coming time, to successfully implement the project, it is necessary to have the participation of many sectors and fields, from import suppliers to purchasing enterprises, the cooperation of association enterprises, farmers, cooperatives, and local authorities, and the agricultural sector also. The Department of Agriculture and Environment of Kiên Giang province also proposed that the central government should deploy 3 components of the project, including supporting production infrastructure, engineering, and project management. It is necessary to recalculate the rice production season in the year more reasonably in the direction of shifting the time of the Mekong Delta provinces to avoid the shortage of rice harvesting machinery, store treatment, and delays in rice purchasing. Consolidate and enhance the role and capacity, especially the credit and financial policy for cooperatives to perform import and output supply services. And ladies and gentlemen, in the commemoration of the 50th anniversary of the Liberation Day of Bình Thuận Province, April 19 of 2025, and the Liberation Day of the South, the National Unification, April 30 of 2025, the Ho Chi Minh Museum Bình Thuận branch organized a photo exhibition on President Ho Chi Minh and the cause of national liberation at the Dục Thanh relic site, Phan Thiết City.
This exhibition introduced to the people and visitors many images, documents, and materials showing the content such as the life and career of the President Ho Chi Minh and the course of national liberation, the history of the steadfast and indomitable revolutionary struggle of the army and the people of Bình Thuận province, and the historical moments of the nation, about the strength of the right national unity under the leadership of the party, join hands and hearts to overcome all hardship and sacrifice to gain independence and freedom. Hattico Group has recently announced the operation of Hattico Hải-Phòng International Container Port as project number 5 and number 6 Lạch Huyện Port Area. The Hattico Hải-Phòng International Container Port project is vetted by Hattico Group with a scale of nearly 33 hectares, and the port is capable of receiving the 2 largest container ships in the world at the same time. It has operating capacity of 2.2 million TEU per year and affirming its position as the largest and the most modern deep water port in the north. Hattico's strategic partners in the project is APM Terminals, a member of the AB Moller Max Groups, and international and domestic partners have accompanied Hattico in transferring technology to successfully build the Greenport Smart Port model, Smart and Greenport, and with the most advanced equipment and technology, meeting international standards to ensure efficient, safe, energy-saving, and environmentally friendly operations. 18,900 billion Vietnam dong is a huge amount of damage from the disclosure of personal information, business, and organizational data. This is the 2024 statistics of many reports on information security. So what is happening in the context of technology developing like a storm today, and what is facing 2025? As a business with a reputable e-commerce site providing educational technology products and services, Mr. Nguyễn Việt Vương is very worried about the increasing situation when hackers target the system and platforms of organizations and businesses. Our enterprise has some official payment gateway that we have worked hard to build, but they use those gateway for the wrong purposes, and we can only prevent that. And when it happens, there are many solutions that need to be monitored regularly and coordinated with the bank. According to a report by the VNPT Information Security Center in 2024, more than 41% of associates and businesses have been attacked at least once. Data leak targeting organizations and businesses increased nearly 2.5 times compared to 2003, and data stolen from the user increased nearly 3 times compared to the first 6 months of the year, causing damage to 18,900 billion Vietnam dong. And in 2025, hackers attack targets are actually changing to target individuals, small and medium-sized enterprises, IT systems and personal devices, and even unprotected cloud platforms. The situation of fraud in cyberspace is complicated, organized, transnational with the increasingly sophisticated tricks. Users should proactively take measures to verify their financial protection with a multi-factor authentication, should not open emails to avoid scam calls, and businesses should have response scenarios. Facing with that situation on April 3rd of 2025, the Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính issued an official dispatch requesting ministry branches and localities to deploy synchronous solutions to promote the prevention and handling of high-tech activities in cyberspace to defer inappropriate access. In addition, the users and businesses should proactively respond and be highly vigilant against these new types of crime. And that's all for today, TTV News. Thank you for being with us, and goodbye for now.